Hello, world, and welcome to Fancast Fridays, the show where we take your favorite characters from all different kinds of fandoms and find the best actors to play them.
It's technically a double tap episode.
Sure, we can't promise that these will come out every Friday, but we can promise they will only ever come out on Friday. I'm Jesse.
I'm Demi.
I'm Dallas.
And there are only 3 of us instead of 17 like normal, so we shouldn't be here all day today.
We hope not.
So, today's episode, we're focusing on the MCU's version of the X-Men. Because Disney, in their never-ending crusade to dominate the world as we know it, has purchased Fox. And with that will come, eventually, the X-Men into the MCU, with Dark Phoenix, I guess, being an ending to the entire X-Men saga that started in 2000.
Probably. It's been long
Which is
enough.
sad, but also not at all. So,
For the record, just so that you guys know the restrictions that we put on all of us, we were not allowed to cast anybody who is already in the Fox X-Men series, and we were also not allowed to cast anybody from the MCU.
unless you are a cheater.
No, unless you can find a good character reason for it to be that actor.
That's what I said.
So, let's
All right.
let's start us off, shall we?
We're going to begin this podcast with Charles Xavier, a.k.a. Professor X, a.k.a. leader of the X-Men, a.k.a. my least satisfying pick.
Mine too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm happy with mine.
I feel like we got 2 awesome Xaviers already, and to find a third one that's going to be as good as those 2 was just a pain in my ass.
Okay, so who'd you choose?
We're just going into that?
Yeah.
Cool. I chose Liam Neeson as a cool-voiced British dude.
It's so funny.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I had Liam Neeson on this list, but not for Xavier.
Oh, okay. See, I feel like Liam Neeson is go-to old, like, mentor figure. Or dude who kicks people's asses.
Yeah, I initially had
Those
him,
are his 2 modes.
I initially had him as Magneto, and I have since changed that.
I'm so happy with my Magneto, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's my least satisfying pick. I feel like Xavier has to have a cool voice. Like, his actual voice. I know James McAvoy doesn't necessarily have a memorable voice, but Patrick Stewart does. And whoever the hell played him in the old 90s animated cartoons did. So I feel like you got to have a memorable voice to be Professor X, since that's all you get to use. You're going to be in a wheelchair the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
you get to emote with the face.
Yeah, just be a good actor.
True. So Liam Neeson. However, I don't know if Liam Neeson can do comedy very well. I saw him in A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Love Actually?
He wasn't really funny.
Yeah, he's not. Well,
not like a comic.
You know what? It's
guy.
no, but I think it's the relationship with him and the son. The back and forth is.
Yeah, but again, it's not like, haha, it was hilarious.
No, not from.
It's
no, it's
cute.
not.
Will we call Charles Xavier a comic character?
No, but here's the thing, but it's the MCU.
I would call him a comic character. Yes, I would.
The
Right.
MCU's
Comic in the
characters are
comedic sense.
comedic. And knowing how the MCU's been going, we're going to get a flashback to Xavier losing his legs by tripping and falling down the stairs. Because that's how Disney does. Exactly. So that's my pick. I don't know. I'm about it. I'm more excited about my other picks coming up.
Interesting.
I feel
Moving
that.
on.
Mind you, this is barring any actors who happen to be paraplegic. I don't know of any popular actors who are paraplegic. If Marvel could go out of their way and actually cast somebody who's, in a wheelchair, that would be really dope. And I would say go for it. Because we'll see the movie regardless.
Sure. To address that point, I agree it would be cool to do. I'm not going to hold it against them if they don't do, because that's one thing I don't like where, and I know it's going to happen, whoever gets cast as Professor X, Marvel's going to get the hate. How dare you not cast an actual paraplegic? The thing is, Marvel casts stars in their roles because they want to make money. Now, I know the counter-argument is, well, we're not going to have any paraplegic stars if you don't give them movie roles, which is fair. I was watching the behind the scenes on A Quiet Place, where they did cast an actual deaf actress to play the deaf little girl, which was awesome and great and caused just a metric ton of problems for the production.
Marvel has all of the money.
But Marvel does have all the money. But also acknowledge that they're going to be spending more money to make less. That's basically what's going to happen.
I don't know about that because it's the X-Men. But I would like to acknowledge that I'm sure that there are paraplegic actors out there, and I would be very ecstatic to see one actually in the role of Charles Xavier. I challenged myself by trying to do at least 3 actors for each pick. So
Oh, boy.
I also challenged myself to try and avoid... Stop it. I tried to avoid English actors for Xavier.
Here's the thing. So I did not until speaking with Dallas.
Oh, no.
Pointed out. When you want to tell him what you pointed out?
Yeah, Charles Xavier has not British. He's never been British.
He is
in the
New
comics.
Yorker.
He is from New York. He's born in New York. His mansion's in New York.
I told you that too on New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. I don't know how he became British with a mansion still in New York.
that's why he
Continuity-wise.
has a mansion.
What?
You got to be British to have a mansion.
Oh my gosh. So I challenged myself to do 3 actors. However, my first actor is actually from Britain from the UK.
Well done.
I know, right?
Challenge failed.
But it's Pierce Brosnan. And
Okay.
Pierce Brosnan's a great actor. I can see him pulling off Charles Xavier. My next actor was Richard Gere.
Wow.
He's still alive?
Yes.
All right.
Also, once again, fantastic actor. Also can
Yeah.
see him pulling off the mentor role. And he looks old enough for the role, I guess. Eventually, I don't know how we're going to pull this off because, like, Xavier should be almost 100 at this point. But that's neither here nor there.
Well, explain why to the fans who don't know, because it's going to lead into my Magneto thing.
I mean, because Magneto is a teenager when the Holocaust happens.
Mm-hmm.
So if they were about the same age, that was like the 40s, and we're about to enter the 20s. So it's almost 100.
You know who I really want? I'm changing my Xavier to Michael Rappaport.
So stop it. And then my
Most New York guy
ever.
ever.
And then my final choice is actually Jeffrey Wright, who is
Hey, I got
best
him on my
known
list.
for Westworld or the Hunger
I
Games
like that.
series. I chose Jeffrey Wright because if you go into comic history, it's well known that the X-Men, specifically Xavier and Magneto, were based off of Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X.
Right.
So I thought it might be interesting to have Professor X be a black man who lived through the civil rights movement and then have him be older and still doing like this mutant rights movement as well. And
Interesting.
still be the Martin Luther King Jr. of it. Like, you know, maybe he was part of the movement and was inspired by Martin Luther King Jr. I thought that would be really interesting. And Jeffrey Wright is a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
So, Jeffrey Wright.
So before Dallas goes, I'm going to rudely interrupt him to say that Jeffrey Wright is on my list, but later, so much later, that I'm going to take this opportunity to point out this is a part 1 of a 3-part series.
It might be more, but right now
As of right now, it's a 3-part
three.
series. So stay tuned for the others. If you don't see your favorite X-Men character,
They're
I would say
probably
don't comment rude things in the comment section, but also like just comment. So
And
if
let
you
us-
want to be rude, just comment.
Let us know what characters you would like to see.
Yeah, and but again, there'll probably be in other installments coming down the line.
Yeah. Dallas, who is your Xavier?
But also, if your favorite X-Men character is somebody obscure like Cannonball, then don't yell at us for not
However, if
including
we
them.
get a comment saying please talk about Cannonball,
Oh, we'll talk about Cannonball.
So comment
Fan
below, let
demand
us
is
know.
everything, but
Yeah.
like, don't be mad if we don't talk about freaking, those ones.
those people.
All right, so Charles Xavier. I also, as soon as we decided we were doing this, my first rule for myself was I'm not making Xavier British.
Michael
Thank
Rappaport.
you.
Mark Rappaport, yes, that's actually my, no, just kidding. So I was
You're
like, okay,
welcome to
cool.
my mention.
So I was like, somebody who's not British, he's old, he's white, he can be bald, and he can rock a
I
wheelchair.
also don't know if Liam Neeson looks good bald. Don't know.
My guy does. Bryan Cranston.
He does.
He was also on my list for the longest.
Hey,
Yeah. So
I am the one who thinks.
I found out Demi was doing like 3 for everyone, and I was like, maybe I'll try that, maybe I won't. And I was like, nah, it's just Bryan Cranston for me.
Nice.
Because he's great, and he has all the range, as we've seen from... He only needed 2 TV shows to show us how much range he has, and he pulled it off. He did
Yeah,
them
but
both
the thing is,
perfectly.
those TV shows were so radically
They are
different
so
from each
different.
other.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like he can do... At this point, I just think he can do everything.
Well, he does in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
He does everything that an actor will ever be required to do in their entire career.
So I'm like, yeah, playing Charles Xavier wouldn't be too tough for him. And I've seen him in a role where he is the mentor, but also he's kind of a shady dick sometimes because he was Zordon.
Yeah.
And Zordon was in that movie,
In that movie.
the mentor,
Power Rangers movie.
but also, yes, the Power Rangers movie for those who didn't
Have
have a
not seen
90s
it.
childhood. Yeah, he was like out for his own interest, kind of.
Yeah, he was.
And he was on some shady stuff a little bit, kind of not the nicest guy. And to be honest, Charles Xavier is not always the nicest guy.
He was on some Dumbledore type of stuff.
Yeah, sometimes.
You know what I just realized?
What you just realized?
We could do a shared universe of Breaking Bad and the X-Men where Walter White survives at the end but gets paralyzed and creates a false identity and turns over a new leaf. And his super meth gives him powers.
Okay, I was like, he becomes a mutant.
Yeah.
Does he give meth to all the
Well,
students?
you've heard the fan theory that his super meth caused the zombie apocalypse in Walking Dead.
Yes,
Those are the
I
shared
have heard
universe.
that.
And they have actually played into that. The shows have.
I've heard of different
so,
things.
like, if blue meth can create zombies, why can't it create mutants? I'm just saying.
Moving on.
Moving on to Magneto, Erik Lensherr.
Hey.
I was watching, was it in X-Men Evolution where his name was Magnus?
His name has been Magnus
Yeah,
before.
he has been called Magnus.
I've only ever heard, even before the movies, I've only ever heard him referred to as Erik, except for in that one cartoon.
Wasn't
I
he?
remember confused the hell out of me.
I think they call him Magnus in the House of
House of M. But I don't think Magnus is his government name.
No,
That's his like Magneto name.
Yeah.
It's Magnus
well,
instead
that's
of
okay.
Magneto.
Yeah, his name is Magnus.
Yeah, Magnus is just another.
Also, it should be Magneto, right?
We're not going to talk about that today.
Why isn't it?
Magneto.
He doesn't have magnet powers. Anyway.
Magneto.
Okay, so this is the one I've been very excited to talk about because of something you, Demi, said.
Oh my God.
Magneto's old because he was a child during the Holocaust.
Right.
Yes.
Here's the thing. We, as a race of humans on this earth, are going to keep moving forward in time. Magneto cannot keep being a child of the Holocaust forever.
Interesting.
Fair.
He just can't. So, I was talking about it with a friend of ours named Susanna. I was like, let's try to find... He has to be some kind of marginalized... from a marginalized group of some kind, otherwise he's not Magneto. Mm-hmm. And it was her that pointed out, if you make him Middle Eastern, you can just take your pick of horrible tragedies that have hit Middle Eastern. And I'm keeping it vague as just Middle Eastern, because you can pick different countries.
Which country America was attacking at the time.
And this will let the character move forward, going forward. So if we reboot the franchise again 20 years from now, we don't have to keep... we can't give him the Holocaust origin 20 years from now.
Right.
We can give him something else.
So it could be anywhere from like...
Unless it's a period piece.
Right, which it won't be.
He could be anywhere from like 100 to like 15 years old.
Yeah, you can't just keep making him older. So I scoured for a old Middle Eastern gentleman type actor. I don't know any off the top of my head.
Oh, yeah.
All the Middle Eastern characters I know, or actors I know, are Dev Patel.
He's Indian.
I think he is Indian.
Oh, well, there you go. There goes that. You see? Anyway, so I spent hours just looking up pulling up like popular actors in this country and that country, and this one guy's name kept coming up. Michael Nouri or Nouri, Nouri. Dude is perfect. He looks like Magneto. He's got this amazing deep voice. Now, ironically, I went with this to pick a not 100-year-old Magneto, and I think this guy's in his 90s.
What?
But he doesn't act like it. If you look up clips, you can find clips of him on YouTube. Mm-hmm. He is perfect for Magneto. That is my pick. Michael Nouri, Michael something, Magneto. I'll show you guys clips of him after the fact. I've been wanting to show you clips since I found this guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, we haven't told each other. We should tell the people. We don't know each other's list yet.
Yeah,
That's true.
We're
learning for the first time.
trying to shock everybody.
So yeah, Michael Nouri.
All right.
Magneto.
Cool.
I have no feelings about that one way or the other.
I went from my least favorite casting to my most favorite casting, so it's all downhill from here.
Oh, God.
It's weird that your favorite casting is...
Just because of like
You
the
don't know
amount
the
of
guys.
work that I found.
Yeah, that's
the
that.
amount of work I put into
effort
it,
in.
and I discovered this guy. I feel like, and it was like, yes, perfect. I found him. He's out there. He
It's
exists.
always fun to internet scour and find.
Right. It's like what I just said with the paraplegic. Like, you can't think of anybody because you don't know any actors. But if you do what I did and spend a couple hours looking, I'm sure you'll find someone maybe who's perfect. And that's what I did. And I'm very proud of me and Michael Nouri. But we know he's old, so we got to do this quick.
So my list for Magneto, I have Harrison Ford.
Interesting.
He's Harrison. I don't think
He's
I
100
need
years
to
old, so it works.
I don't think I need to explain why Harrison Ford could be Magneto. Does that need an explanation? That's a very bitter.
I think
he's a bitter old man.
He's a bitter old man, but like, I don't get Magneto vibes from the kind of bitter Harrison Ford is.
But see, here's the thing. Harrison Ford also, and I could be wrong about this.
All right.
I personally have never seen Harrison Ford play a villain. And I would be fascinated with seeing Harrison Ford play
Black
a villain. What?
Interesting.
Black Hat. A really terrible Chris Hemsworth
I
movie.
forgot. He's in that movie?
Yeah, he's a villain.
I forgot he's in that
not good.
movie. I saw that movie, and I don't remember anything about him being in it. But the
not
second
good.
half was also, I didn't care about it. But yeah, Harrison Ford as like a straight-up bad guy throughout an entire movie, would love to see it. Daniel Day-Lewis,
He's retired.
whatever.
So what?
So what? And an actor named Rob Stewart.
Didn't he die at the Red Wedding?
That is Rob Stark. Gotcha. Rob Stewart. He is on Killjoys, and he plays. Stop it! You're gonna get a lot of these tonight, Jesse. So you should just stop complaining.
I complain. I'm quipping. I will continue to quip.
These are
throughout
horrible
the
quips,
show.
man. They're not even clever.
Would you continue, please?
So Rob Stewart plays Hannah John Common's father on the show, and he's
Not your comment.
a very complex character, so I can't even go into everything about Klein. But Rob Stewart plays him so well,
Klein?
and yes, his name is Klein, Khlyen. Klein. When the show first starts, he's like a bad guy. He's the antagonist of the show for a while, and he's
The old?
He looks it. So he also kind of looks like Magneto, just not as bulky. So I'm about that. But
I've
yeah.
never been about bulky Magneto, by the way. I just feel like, even in the comics, he's a 1,000-year-old man. Like, I don't know. And also his powers don't require him to be bulky. I don't know.
He's just keeping in shape.
It just feels like a 90s thing where everyone has to be ripped.
Yeah. But yeah,
like-
Rob Stewart is a fantastic actor. He does villainy very, very well, and not in a cheesy way either. So I would be very excited to see him play Magneto. I think he would be really good at it, and I think he would relish in doing it. Dallas.
Interesting.
Klein.
I'm gonna get it out the way. My second choice is also Daniel Day-Lewis.
Ha.
Are you showing a picture of old man Nito?
First one, Rob's.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, it's like I get like a college professor vibe from that
So
guy.
Daniel Day-Lewis, I feel like is off the table, guys.
Nah, he's fine.
He's fine.
We're gonna back.
We're fine.
Give him that Disney money.
Also, Daniel Day-Lewis is like male Meryl Streep. You could cast him in any of these roles.
Exactly.
Pull it off.
That's exactly it.
I wouldn't make him Jean Grey.
I feel like he could do it though.
He might.
So Dallas, who was
Scary.
your other
Make a
choice?
better Phoenix than we've
Yeah.
done so
So
far.
my first choice. So something that's kind of a pattern with me is I look at where the characters are from, and I'm like, is there an actor from that place I can find?
That's not what I did.
Yeah.
I did that with some characters.
So I wanted to make sure, like, Xavier's not British.
you want an
And
actual
then
Israeli
You
actor?
wanted to find a Jewish guy?
A German Jewish guy.
No, that seemed too hard. So I just found a German guy.
Ah.
Okay.
So my Magneto is Christoph
Feel
Waltz.
like pick one. Dude, that's a good one.
That's
though.
a good
Yeah,
one.
because the thing that bothers me almost as much as Xavier always having a British accent is Magneto always having a British
That one
accent.
really doesn't work.
Yeah.
And that
There are
actually,
British
that
people
one,
in New York.
That one bothers me more because, like,
Yeah.
if you don't tell us Xavier lives in New York, he could be British, whatever.
Right.
Like, we know Magneto is not from England.
Right.
We've seen his childhood.
we make it a
Many,
We've seen his-
many times. It's
Yeah.
it's the entire point of his character.
Oh,
yeah, through all these movies, we've seen him grow. Different stages of his life.
I mean, movies, animated series, is
Never in England.
Comics.
Like, he's not English. How does this little Holocaust victim turn into an old British man? But yeah, I was like, who's German? Oh,
when you're
Christoph
running
Waltz.
from Auschwitz, you gotta disguise yourself in some way, right?
That's dark.
Me, British. I mean, sorry, me, Jewish. No, of course not.
That is so dark.
There are Jewish people in Britain, Jesse.
Christoph Waltz.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Yes, Christoph Waltz, as we all know, can be a great
That's
villain.
dark when referring to Magneto's origin story.
No, referring to your joke about his origin story.
Just saying.
So he's
Pretty
old.
dark.
He's German. He can play a villain so well.
He can.
And he can also just play a really likable guy. Like, sometimes even when he's the villain.
Magneto a likable guy though?
Sometimes.
Magneto's not what I would call a very likable guy, but he's a sympathetic enough villain that I think Christoph Waltz can give us a sympathy.
My only thing with that is I feel like it'd be a little cliche, wouldn't it? Like Christoph Waltz is the villain.
Yeah, but he'd be so good at it. Why do we care?
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, he's also been not villains in movies.
He has.
Yeah.
He was actually really good in Alita Battle Angel.
And Django Unchained.
He's great in Django Unchained.
Yeah.
It was funny. I was thinking the Harrison Ford thing because he said like you can't see Magneto being that kind of grumpy, angry
Right.
dude. I feel like if you take the accents out of the equation, Michael Fassbender to me feels more like young Harrison Ford than he does young Ian McKellen.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I could see Michael Fassbender because Michael Fassbender is more of like a angry Indiana Jones anyway.
I can see
So
it.
yeah, I think it could work.
All right, next up.
Next up on the list,
Storm.
drum roll please. Storm was the easiest choice I had to make this entire time.
Really?
Interesting.
Yeah,
I
because
struggled.
Halle Berry was crap.
Oh.
So
I like Halle
I just had to pick a more. I like Halle Berry too. I was gonna say I got to pick a more talented actress. Not that Halle Berry's not a talented actress. She's just not good at superheroes. Anyway, long story short, my pick was Cynthia Erivo
Ooh,
as,
that's an interesting.
Oh, yeah, I
choice.
know who that is.
of Bad Times at the El Royale and
Yes.
Widows fame.
Oh yeah.
Did not see Widows, but Bad Times at the El Royale was great. She was
was-
great in it.
She was great in Widows, and she runs like I think her run is better than Tom Cruise's. So
It's a
Nice.
fantastic run.
Storm does not run, so
Yeah,
She doesn't need to.
She just
Cynthia
floats.
Erivo should play Quicksilver.
that's the recast we really want.
Already in the MCU, we can't do it.
We want that recast immediately.
But yeah, when I saw Bad Times at the El Royale, I was like, you are someone I need to see more of. Her and the dude who played Miles in
Right.
that movie. And this is a perfect opportunity for her to get out there now. All right, you had your breakout role. Now time to have your breakout role. And I think Storm would be perfect for that. I also just feel like she can make Storm more of a character than she ever was in the X-Men movies.
Yeah, they really don't
And I
let Storm
don't
shine.
know the actress who plays Storm now, the younger one.
Alexandra Shipp.
Yeah, her.
Yes, also not much of a character. So it's about time they did something with Storm, who, by the way, should be the most powerful mutant. I don't understand why she's
She
not.
is. She's praised as a goddess in Africa.
In Africa, but
Yeah.
everywhere else, it's Xavier, Magneto, and Phoenix are the top dogs, and Storm can only control
the
Earth,
weather.
You know,
Yeah, it's annoying. It's so annoying how they do her
you
like.
piss off Storm, she'll destroy your country.
Like she lost a fight
There will
to
be
a
a
girl
hur-
who runs fast in one of the
Right.
X-Men movies.
Like, no.
There will be a hurricane where there should not be hurricanes.
Exactly. You got a hurricane in Tucson, Arizona. I don't know, but they did it. I'm
It's
just kidding.
there,
Tucson,
guys.
Arizona gets
It
hurricanes
is
every winter.
there, guys. Oh, gosh. Okay, so my 3 for Storm, starting with Agent Naomi King, who is most well known for How to Get Away with Murder. She is
She
fantastic.
got away with it. She shouldn't be most known for it.
Boo.
She is fantastic on How to Get Away with Murder. Also, I would just like to say, Storm was actually the first character that I cast out of everybody, and that was because I had her.
Same.
I had her cast. Well, no, I had her cast before we even decided to do these fan casts.
I mean, before you told us you wanted to do these podcasts?
Yeah.
makes sense.
That's what kind of sparked it. I was like, I need to do this. I want to get this out of the way. Agent Naomi King is so talented and just has kind of like a regalness about her. I could see her playing some sort of royalty. Right now, she's playing a law student on How to Get Away with Murder. And I would also like to see her make the leap from the small screen to the big screen. And I think she would be fantastic as Storm. Also, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, and I meant to look it up before we did this. Yvonne Orji or Orjai?
Hopefully
Let's
it's
go with Orjai.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Orjai.
She is on Insecure with
Is she though?
Issa Rae. She plays Issa Rae's best friend. And also, very talented actress. Very funny, too. And like you said, like the MCU has a tendency of making jokes and stuff like that. So, like,
Don't
you know.
give everyone quips.
Yeah, so she would be really good with the quip stuff. And I think she can also really do the drama stuff as well. And also, she's a little bit older than both of the other actresses that I have on this list. So she'd be closer in age to Chadwick Boseman. I don't think they would ever put Black Panther and Storm together now that they have Nakia. But, like, you know.
I was going to bring that up. Are we shipping our Storm with T'Challa?
I'm
Are we
not.
breaking up Nakia and T'Challa?
I'm not.
Nakia might go dark side on us.
Yeah.
She could. That's an option. But I wanted to keep. I kind of wanted to have one actress who could be at least on the same age level as Chadwick Boseman. And then my last one is Anna Diop. I tried my best to avoid DC anything to cast
Interesting.
this as well.
At that point, you just run out of actors.
But Anna is so good on Titans as Starfire, and it's not even just because she's playing Starfire. Like, no, Anna Diop, though, she acts from like her body, like it is all physicality, and
Yeah.
then she says her lines, and it's just as good. And she's such a fantastic actress. Oh my gosh!
Looks good with glowing eyeballs.
She does. Yeah, we already tested that.
There you go.
And she'd probably look cool with the white hair. So that's
God, please give her, whoever, a better wig than Halle Berry had to work
or
with,
just
too.
let her keep her natural hair and just make it white. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. The Mohawk. No, not a fan of the Mohawk.
I feel like
No.
Mohawk is one of those things that might not translate well to the screen from the page.
Captain Marvel has a Mohawk for like half of it.
Hers isn't a helmet though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a Mohawk we gotta look at the whole time.
I mean, the new Storm chick has a Mohawk. She looks fine.
That's fair.
So Anna Diop is my last choice, and she's really, really awesome.
We're
Dallas,
talking
who's your number? Yours.
So I wanted to watch Titans so I could decide if I wanted to use Anna Diop. I never saw it, so I didn't use her.
I'm gonna tell you, she's a
Makes
good
sense.
choice though.
And I look at her and I'm like, yeah, that could definitely be Storm from what I see. But I'm trying not to use anyone that I haven't seen in anything.
You didn't see her in 24 Legacy?
You.
She's good in that too.
Never watched 24.
So I looked at Storm and I was like, all right, who's African?
All right. Good
And
start.
then I was like, well, can't use Lupita. Can't use Denai Gurira. MCU is really kind of taking a toll on my
Blame.
picks.
Black Panther took them all.
I was like, dang it. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll just find somebody who can probably do an African accent. So I was like, who's a good actress who's black? Hear me out.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Dallas
good
has never
start.
had to say that to us before.
Good
so.
start.
Regina King.
Ooh.
Okay.
So I love Regina King.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's
Won an
amazing.
Oscar.
She did indeed.
Which by the way,
Oscar.
Marvel loves to go, you just won an Oscar? Be in our next movie.
Come join us.
Speaking of that Oscar,
Okay.
so I saw her in Beale Street, and she has this. Did you guys see that movie?
No,
have
and I
not.
wanted to.
Sorry. She has this role about her that's very maternal and very like she can take care of the young
So
people.
if
She can.
T'Challa knocks her up, then we're good.
I'm not talking about her kids. I'm talking about the role that Storm has in the school.
Where
Like, you
she's
know,
a teacher
yeah.
taking care of
yeah, like
students.
she can be the teacher role, taking care of the students, and she just fingers crossed she could do an African accent.
I mean, that's with all of
I
these.
assume
We
like
don't know.
she's such a good actress. I just kind of assume she can.
Yeah.
But if not, dialect coaches
gonna
exist
say,
for that
also,
You
reason.
don't need to have the accent.
That's true. That's also a good
Storm.
point because they tried it with Halle and they're like, no. So they took that away.
Try it with Halle though.
That first movie.
Did she try?
That's why they only gave her 4 lines. But like after that, they were like, you know what? You don't have to have an accent to be from Africa. Yeah. So it's like Storm doesn't have to have the accent, but I think Regina King is that great.
And she's that diligent.
Yes, she has that like. She can have that ferocity to her if she needs to, but she can also have that. Let me take care of you while Magneto's attacking the school. I'll get you to safety, and then I'll come back and hit him with lightning.
Listen, there is something to be said about a woman who can go from playing Huey Freeman to playing Riley
Like
Freeman.
that range in its own.
That's a big
Also,
range.
how does a lightning bolt not just defeat Magneto just off the bat?
Or, most people. The same thing that happens to
specifically him.
everything else.
Yeah. I was gonna make that joke too. It took it from me.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
My second choice.
Oh,
Because
God,
I was like,
we're not done.
somebody, I gotta have an African.
There's gotta be one out there.
Gagula
somewhere.
Thu in Batara.
Hey, my girl.
And I was really hoping she wasn't in the MCU somewhere because like she's in a bunch of little things I haven't
Shockingly, no,
noticed.
yeah.
It's like, she was in Black Mirror. She was in
I'm waiting for it.
Concussion.
Yeah.
Where she was actually speaking with an African accent. And I was like, ooh, you can act. You can sound African. Storm. But I made her my second choice because I'm more familiar with Regina King's work.
Okay.
And I just like her better. So
Yeah.
those are my storms.
I'm waiting for Gugu to get picked up by a superhero movie. Very close to having her as Black Canary, and that didn't happen. But it's fine because Journey's also awesome.
True.
All right.
Moving
Stella
on.
stole my transitional joke. We're just gonna move on. Jean Grey's next. Jean Grey.
Jean
Jean
Yes,
Grey
everyone,
is
Jean Grey?
indeed next.
Jean Grey
All
is
right.
next.
AKA Jean Grey. So basically, we just need.
What?
Or
She doesn't
Phoenix.
get a name. Phoenix is a different entity. This is not the same character, except in the movies.
Listen, this person might have to play them.
What's weird, 'cause
I know,
sometimes
I'm
when
sure.
she's not evil, they still call her Phoenix.
Yeah.
Hence
Yeah, I
the whole
think
Dark
she
Phoenix
takes that
distinction.
afterwards, right?
Yeah, like when she wears her
After
like,
the Dark Phoenix,
she wears her green suit and it's like,
because
yeah,
it was badass. I
this
would
looks
too.
cool. But
Like, oh,
then
that's a
Evil
cool
Jean
name.
has a red suit.
Also, at some point, you just got to look around like, why does everyone else get a code name except for me? Even if you watch the old like animated series, it's always Wolverine, Rogue, Storm, Jean
Jean
Grey.
Grey.
You're like, why?
Like, Jean Grey is a cool name, but, like, that's not a superhero name.
Yeah. So I try to find a redheaded woman who can be book smart. Basically,
Okay.
yeah. Jean Grey is the Hermione Granger of the X-Men.
Good luck finding redheads who are not in either the MCU or in a Fox movie or Fox X-Men movie.
Fun fact.
Dallas wants to say something.
Another name she went by for a brief time is Marvel Girl. So
Oh, yeah.
if you want to use
Everyone
that,
did at some point.
yeah,
Everyone
you
went
can
by
call her
something
Marvel Girl if you want, but let's not.
Yeah.
Back to your redheads.
So I didn't find one. So
Ah.
Vera Farmiga.
Ooh,
Because similar to Bryan Cranston, she could just do everything. She could go. But that's the thing, because I did take Dark Phoenix into consideration. Now I doubt after.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do
I don't
it
think we're
again.
going to do Dark Phoenix for a while, just because we've done it. However, you want to keep that option open, and Vera Farmiga can go dark. She could be the most lovable, terrifying, wholesome, holy shit person
yeah,
ever. She
Sure.
can do all of that.
all of that.
And I'm sure she can dye her hair red. So
Probably.
She's not that far off in the
Yeah.
Conjuring movies anyway. She's like a auburn
Yeah,
in those. So
sure.
a little bit redder.
I like it.
And yeah,
said
Vera
yes, sure.
Farmiga.
I have
Also, as much as I would love to see her as Jean Grey, I'm just really excited about seeing her as a Dark Phoenix. Because she would kill it.
fair. I have her somewhere else on my list, but we'll get to that when we get to
I
that.
feel like I know where you have
If
it.
we get to that, we'll
I
see.
feel like-
But yeah, I'm all about Vera Farmiga. Anytime I see her in the trailer, I'm like, cool. Don't know what that movie is, but I'll probably watch it.
Yeah. Godzilla, King of Monsters.
And the other ones. I think she's in Captive State. She's in Captive State.
She's in Captive State.
Yes.
Yeah.
To me.
First person on my list is Dakota Johnson, who
Okay.
Oh,
is
yeah, I know
well
her.
known for Bad Times at the El Royale, but
Hey.
I guess to most people it'd be 50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey. Just want to make that clear for anyone who didn't know.
Also,
Yes.
50 Shades Darker. And
50 Shades.
Shades Freed.
50 Shades Dark Phoenix is free.
I haven't
How
seen.
did that become 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades Darker? Cool. 50 Shades Freed. How does that?
We're not
going
going
to
to discuss it because I don't think
What
anybody.
the hell?
I don't think any-
Darkest. 50 Shades Darkest.
I don't think anybody at this table has seen any of them. But I saw her in Bad Times at the El Royale,
Oh.
and I was like, I would love to see her do some badass. Yeah, I'd like to see her do some more badassery. I'd like to see her do something cool, and I felt like Jean Grey, out of all the Marvel heroes, would be the best place for her to be. I feel like Dakota Johnson would nail that role because she's I feel like she could nail the Dark Phoenix part because she's, bad times once again. She's
Yeah. She could be bad.
Yeah, she's snarky and bad and just.
Is Phoenix snarky though?
It's Marvel. They're gonna make her snarky.
I feel like Phoenix wouldn't be, because Phoenix is more of like a, I am holier than thou.
Yeah, Phoenix is basically a demon
come to
in Jean Grey's body, like a space possession.
That's not to say that Dakota Johnson can't play a demon either.
True. Yeah.
I doth not remember thine face, but I might want to get used to the fact that things have changed.
But yeah, and also I would like, after seeing Bad Times, I would like Dakota Johnson to just get out away from 50 Shades, as far away as possible.
Go do a Snow White movie.
Because she doesn't deserve that. My next pick, the boys are going to roll their eyes at me. My choice is Lily James.
Yeah, we already knew before you said it.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, Lily James is a fantastic actress. I don't know what she looks like with red hair, but probably fine. The thing about Lily James is she is so delightful in a lot of her roles. And typically just like kind of she's got like a lighthearted sort of thing about her that I can't really put my finger on. She's like a ray of sunshine, even in the movies where it's kind of dark. Darkest Hour, she's still kind of a delight, even though this is a very dark movie.
Perfect for Dark Phoenix.
But that's my thing. I want to see Lily James go dark. I want to see what she does in that. So I think that she would make a great Jean Grey, and I also would love to see her as a superhero. And she also said she would rather play a superhero than a supervillain.
Porque no los dos.
Exactly. I would love to see her push that darkness, because I've seen her be badass.
Right.
And I've seen her be good and kind and courageous, all that stuff. But I want to see her go bad. I want to see her go dark and see where that takes us.
Dark Phoenix.
And then
Here we go again.
my final choice is based off of one scene, and it is Allison Williams, best known for Get Out and Girls. I chose Allison Williams simply for the scene of her sitting on the bed.
Hold on. I just got like an image of Jean Grey sitting on the bed with like a Jean Grey facial, oh my God, help me. But then Dark Phoenix's voice coming out of her mouth and just saying the most evil crap.
Oh my God.
Allison Williams would destroy this world, and I would be happy to watch it.
Now I'm upset that she's not on my list.
Yeah.
Is that not like just that?
You know what, though? I'd like to see an Allison Williams, Vera Farmiga, like, act off.
Oh, God.
Yeah, just put them in the same movie.
Yeah.
Have them both be Jean Grey.
Porque no los dos? Well, we could do the whole clone thing where, like, isn't freaking Cable not Jean Grey's kid, but like a clone of Jean Grey?
He's
That's
Scott's
true.
See,
kid.
so you can have...
Yeah, he's Scott's kid with the clone of Jean Grey.
Right. So you can just have Vera as
Can't remember
actual
her name.
Jean Grey, and then Allison as
Clone.
Robo Jean Grey.
Robo Jean Grey.
Oh my God. Yes, Allison
Yeah.
Williams is that great of an actress that I have every faith in her that she would be able to just pull that off. I don't know if I can say much more about Allison Williams. Like, she can do the good girl part for Jean Grey.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of what the whole act is before we find out the plot twist and get
Yeah.
out. She could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But then, like, I also
Yes.
know that if
Never mind.
I also know if Dark Phoenix happened, I would get a scene like the cereal scene,
True.
and I would be happy.
And I'm so glad we all took Dark Phoenix into consideration, considering Dark Phoenix probably ain't going to happen.
It's not, but
I said all. Dallas hasn't said his yet.
I was looking up what the name is of Jean Grey's clone. Madeline Pryor.
Oh, is that her
Yeah, that's
clone?
Jean Grey's clone, a.k.a. the Goblin Queen.
Yeah.
And
Hell yeah.
look at this picture and tell me you don't want to see Vera Farmiga do that.
I always want to see Vera Farmiga do something like that.
I'm
So,
scared.
Vera Farmiga is Madeline Pryor, and Allison Williams is Wilson? Allison Williams.
Williams.
To be fair, I feel like I saw Vera Farmiga do that in Bates Motel.
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our Goblin Queen.
Goblin Queen.
But,
Vera Farmiga is the Goblin Queen.
My Jean Grey.
Did you take the Goblin Queen into consideration when you came up with your Jean
I
Grey?
wish I would have, but I didn't. And I'm just kind of disappointed that I don't have Allison on my list. But I'm happy with my. I have two. I'm happy with my choices. The first one.
You're happy.
Yeah, we happy. Remember everything I said about Storm being like maternal and blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah. All that, but with Jean. So someone I know now can be maternal and badass. Emily Blunt.
Hey.
Yeah.
I think she would be a great in the kind of like how it starts in the first X-Men with Frank P. Jansen is just like, she's not a full-blown badass destroying everything.
next door.
She's just, she's just like
Well, the girl next.
watching over, the students and being,
You put into words what I was thinking
The
about
girl
Lily
what?
James. She is the girl next door. There we go.
oh yeah. That's the phrase
Perfect. Yeah, and Jean is the girl next door until she becomes Dark Phoenix.
for that. Yeah.
Bombka's a funny name.
All right.
Anyway, you were saying.
But yeah, Emily Blunt, because, you see her in A Quiet Place being the mother.
Yeah.
Until the end when she's cocking that shotgun and she's going to be
That's a motherly. She's doing
the
it
Rambo.
as a mother.
Exactly. And I feel
The
like
most motherly thing she does.
Some
And I feel
maternal
like-
instinct.
Hell yeah.
Jean Grey, to protect her students, will go full on, I'm lifting everyone and throwing them off this bridge because there's always a scene of the bridge.
It's funny. I think Jean Grey is like Mary Poppins, and then Dark Phoenix is the Full Metal bitch from Edge of Tomorrow.
I wish I would have seen that one. I haven't seen that
seen
one.
Edge of Tomorrow?
And,
I
think
also have never
that's-
seen Edge of Tomorrow.
You haven't seen Edge of Tomorrow?
But
We're
also,
gonna watch it twice because
also
funniness.
Looper.
Yes. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
Looper.
Yeah.
Looper,
there it
where
is.
she's like in the middle of those two. By the
She
way,
is, yeah.
she's kind of
Emily Blunt's British, huh?
Yes.
Is she
Very.
American in Looper? Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the one I
She's
was like,
Southern in Looper.
yeah. And, you know, every British
Extra
actress and actor can do amazing American accents.
I don't know about all.
Well, not the Harry Potter kids.
Yeah,
We're
I've
gonna,
heard some
They
British
don't
actors.
we're gonna move forward.
Yes. Yeah, not the Harry Potter kids.
I'm American now.
But yeah, Looper is a good,
Yeah.
also a good representation of that.
My second one, because I was like, who have I seen with red hair? Bryce Dallas Howard.
She's in an X-Men movie.
Who's she?
No, sorry, Jessica Chastain.
Yeah, you know what's funny?
The other redhead.
I had Jessica Chastain as Jean Grey first, and then I realized
Yeah.
she's already in an X-Men movie.
Ha, ha, ha.
indeed.
But yeah, to my knowledge, mine is not.
Just Cuba Gooding, Terrence Howard.
I did, except at least
Chastain.
most people actually do the Bryce and Jessica.
Most people do the Terrence Howard, Cuba Gooding too. That's happened
Yes.
a lot.
Bryce Dallas Howard is in a movie based on Marvel Comics, but she's not in the MCU. She's in Spider-Man, the bad one.
Right.
Yes.
Spider-Man, one of the bad ones.
You be right.
All right, fine. The one to me that is the definitively bad one is that one. But yeah, I like her. I like her a lot. She's cool. And
Bryce Dallas Howard is talented.
I started to really, really like her as an actress after I saw her Black Mirror episode.
Yeah.
Nosedive. And I was like, ooh, she acting. So it's like, if I can't get Emily Blunt,
See,
Didn't she also direct that episode? No.
sure.
Or did her father direct it? I can't remember which one.
Sure.
yeah, I've loved Bryce Dallas Howard since The Village.
Yep.
Yeah,
Never
she
saw
was
The Village.
fantastic in that one. Great movie. I don't care what everyone says. The movie's fantastic.
Also, she has my name in a capacity.
She was also in Twilight.
So I can find my name in the credits.
She has 7 names. One of them's yours. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, yeah. I think her father might have actually directed that episode, but she is really good in that episode.
Ronnie boy.
Yep.
All right.
Speaking of
so,
boys.
Speaking of boys. Yeah, speaking of boys, because here's the thing. My Scott Summers is next, aka Cyclops.
Yes, the boy.
And initially, I was concerned with the age gap I put with my Scott Summers and my Jean Grey, because Vera Farmiga is
Up there.
up there. She's not young. She's 45. I just googled her. And Armie Hammer is 33.
It's not that bad.
Yeah. I'm gonna let it go. Why not?
Honestly, like, that's not the most concerning age difference Armie
True.
Hammer's had in the movie.
Never. No.
He's in a movie where he
you're right. I
diddled
forgot
a
about
teenage boy in Italy.
I forgot about that one.
So,
Yeah. Well, now I have no problem.
who was he to complain about it?
But also, Vera Farmiga is Vera Farmiga, so it's okay.
So Armie Hammer is your choice.
Armie Hammer is my choice.
Also, think about the age difference between Vera Farmiga and Freddie Highmore.
Yeah, but that was supposed to be disturbing, Chalice. That was the
I'm just
point.
saying, she's
They made
familiar
5
with.
seasons about how wrong that was.
She's familiar with the territory.
Oh my god.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Armie Hammer.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
Cyclops can easily be the most boring character in the team.
He's a Boy Scout.
True.
He is a Boy Scout. However, we have seen that work. You can do Boy Scout and still have charisma. If you are James Marsden, maybe you can't. He tried.
Excuse you. James Marsden is a very charismatic man.
He is,
Yeah.
but he wasn't. He was so boring as Cyclops.
I don't think that's on him.
That's
I feel
definitely.
like
fine, that's
whoever
not on
wrote
him.
these movies hates Cyclops.
Brian Singer.
Brian Singer.
He also didn't
Hates
allow
Cyclops.
anybody to have comic books on set or read them before working on the film. So.
Which to be
Brian Singer hates comic books.
this phrase to be fair to Brian Singer is
Ooh.
exactly.
Ooh.
To be fair to that first movie,
Got it.
it only worked because of all that. Because we didn't make it a comic book movie. That's why we have the comic book movies we have now. Had they made it more comic booky, it probably wouldn't have worked.
Isn't the first one where
As-
that guy turns into like goop?
Yes.
Yeah, but it looked fine.
What?
No, but I mean, when people complain like, "Oh, those movies aren't comic booky enough." I was like, "Yeah, because comic booky movies weren't working." Because 4 years before X-Men came out, 3 years, we had the Captain America movie in '97. Like, it wasn't working. So it was
there's like good comic booky, and then there's that.
there, but we know that now. We didn't know that in the year 2000.
I just
We didn't know
wouldn't.
that in
I just wouldn't
1998.
argue that X-Men wasn't comic booky because you have a Toad Man.
Oh, I think so,
Sabretooth
too.
is whatever he's supposed
I
to be.
completely agree with you.
Yeah.
But that's a common complaint.
And we have Rogue suddenly
But we
getting
don't
white
have
hair
the yellow
based off of Avenger.
spandex, Dallas.
Fine with that.
But anyway, the point is you got to find a guy who can be completely straight and still have something about him that draws you to him. Colin, for example, our straight man. Our ironically straight man.
Make Cyclops gay, you cowards. I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Not that character.
Whoa, now I got to recast Vera Farmiga. Wait a minute.
All right.
Michael Keaton is my Jean Grey.
Oh, no. Tell us why you like Armie Hammer for Cyclops.
There's something underneath the surface.
There is. Well, Armie Hammer is one of those you can read the phone book to me actors, and I'll find you entertaining.
Okay, it's not his fault that he has such an amazing voice.
But that's part. But it's not just the voice; it's the way he uses his voice. He commands. That's it. He commands, and that's what Scott needs to be. He needs to be the leader of the X-Men.
Yeah.
When he's surrounded by people like Professor Xavier and Storm and people who are more powerful and more attention-grabbing than he is, for whatever reason, he rises up to be that
occasion.
leader.
Yeah,
and my litmus test for that was Captain America, because they've been able to do that with Captain America. Chris Evans brought something extra to a character that historically has been hard to make in movies. It's why we can't do Superman right. It's why we can't do, it's hard to get the, most movies when we get the generic protagonist character, we get the most boring character.
Right.
You know? So you got to find someone who can be that generic protagonist character and not be boring. And Armie Hammer can do that. That's why he's been cast as Batman before, and also the runner-up for Superman on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
When you got a guy who can do both, get you a man who can do both.
There it is. It was this close to making that joke.
There it is.
Thank you.
And then that's Cyclops. Bam.
I actually really like your choice, and that never came to mind for me.
Thank you.
However, I did think of the Boy Scout thing. That was like the forefront of my mind. I was like, who can I find who would be a Boy Scout? Not just a Boy Scout, but also kind of have like a jock thing about him while also still not being
See, that was the thing.
jock.
I didn't want to make him unlikable.
Like, no, but I don't mean like unlikable jock. He just has that like, it's the leadership
Is there a
thing.
likable jock?
Yeah, they're
Yeah, you can be a likable jock.
Yeah. But
Armie Hammer probably was.
I can see it.
like, he's got kind of like a jock thing where like, teamwork and,
Yeah.
being a leader, all that type of
Truth,
stuff.
justice in the
Well,
American
also,
way.
I feel like Cyclops can also be a type of character who can also be introverted and take a moment to think and come up with a plan and go through with it. So I had 3 choices, which I completely
Of course you did.
open casted. So first one was Theo James. Looks like a Boy Scout. I've loved some of his
Why
other
can't I
work.
think? Theo, I know that. I know Theo James.
I can show you a picture. He's mostly known for Divergent, which is upsetting. But
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, now I know who you're talking about.
yeah,
Okay.
mostly known for Divergent. He's a good actor, and unfortunately, he keeps getting bad stuff. I don't know what it is, but he's a really good actor. He's got like a Boy Scout kind of look to him. He
Okay.
looks like he's upright and upstanding. And
Right, fair.
in Divergent, he kind of plays a military leader, so I feel like he could pull off the "yeah, I'm in charge" sort of thing, while also pulling off the "let's have a quiet moment, let me think, and come up with a plan" sort of thing.
Interesting.
And I love that about him. He's also really good on Castlevania.
Which one's he?
He's Hector.
Which one's he?
Hector's the one who can bring stuff back from the dead.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah, he's great. I love Hector. Also, Theo James, another actor with a really nice voice.
Yeah, I feel like that's a common thing.
Yeah.
Well, Cyclops, that's all he has. He's gonna have his eyes covered the whole time. So
He's gonna have a nice voice.
gotta have a good voice
I
to
can't
make
look
up
in
for
your
it.
eyes, you better sound good.
yeah.
My second choice was Trey Byers, who is most well known for Empire. He was also in Selma for like 2 seconds. He's also a really good actor and will probably never get much recognition because he's on a TV show and
Right.
it's Empire.
I feel like that's not a thing anymore.
It depends.
It
I think.
depends, yeah.
It depends.
Empire has gone past the point where it would get any sort of recognition, so it's too late for that. Trey Byers is a fantastic actor, and I don't think he gets enough credit. Even among the fandom, I don't think he gets enough credit for what he does on that show. His character is bipolar on that show, and he goes through really emotional highs, and he does it so well. He's so great. Also, it's really funny because his wife also currently plays a mutant on the show The Gifted.
Nice.
But yeah, he's great, and he's also really attractive and looks like he could be a Boy Scout.
PT
So-
dubs. I don't think there's gonna be an issue for any of us, but Gifted and Legion also off any actors from that also off the table, correct?
I assume so. I didn't choose any.
Yeah,
of
neither
them,
did I. I
so
just
think.
wanted to establish that for the roles. Those count as being part of the X-Men franchise. They are officially canon, I guess. I think as much as canon counts in the X-Men universe.
Right.
So
Timelines. What are those?
yeah.
And my last choice is he's a newcomer, Henry Golding, best known for
Ooh.
Crazy Rich Asians
Yeah.
and
Simple Favor.
Simple Favor. Thank you. I did not see a Simple Favor. I've heard
you
it
wanna
was
borrow it?
great. Yes.
Cool.
I've heard it was great. He is very charming in Crazy Rich Asians.
And in a Simple Favor.
Yes, and I think he could pull off that Boy Scout charm in X-Men.
I did not know. I didn't know, by the way, that Crazy Rich Asians was his first movie.
It is. Yeah,
I did not.
He was a model before
Yeah.
that. Yeah, just a
It's
model.
like, talk about a debut.
He's the main dude, right?
He's
Yeah.
the main dude. Yeah.
Yeah, Nick Young.
yeah.
He's really, and it's not like he does much in the way of acting range or whatever in either movie, but he does have that something
Yeah, he's got an X factor about him. That X factor about him that I feel like he could pull off being Scott. And
I'm proud of you.
You're welcome. And I feel like it would be like a really good, like, yes, Crazy Rich Asians was his breakout role. Yeah, it wasn't broke. Let's continue. Let's continue the trend for him. Let's continue on this cycle of just giving him really good roles, and I think he can make a good Scott.
Here for it. Now that you had 3 Jean Greys, never mind. Because I wanted to like compare the Scotts and the Jeans, and like how they would work together.
I'm gonna stop you there.
Okay.
Because my first Cyclops is John Krasinski.
Really?
And my Jean Grey was Emily Blunt.
his would okay. So
Of course they would.
No.
Come on.
Let's cross out his.
Did this already. That's not. I didn't know you were gonna do that. That's just the perfect transition. Like the best
After
transition of all
he's done
time.
talking about John Krasinski, we're gonna compare ours then. Okay.
I win already.
Well, I already did with mine because I talked about Vera Farmiga a lot while talking about my Scott.
We talked about how yours didn't work because of this.
No, I say that it did work despite the age difference.
I mean, I could say which pairings I would like to see matched up.
And Dallas doesn't get to talk.
I win.
Yeah, he doesn't get to talk.
I'm the only one who thought to ship my characters as I can.
I mean, I ship mine too, but not like as actors.
That ship has sailed, Dallas.
It's still sailing. It's gonna sail right into the MCU.
It's sail right into.
It's the OTP.
First of all, you just cast Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic in X-Men movies.
We'll talk about that in a later
you know
podcast.
what?
Away from.
We haven't done the Fantastic Fancast yet, so
We'll get there.
The Fantastic Fancast.
yeah,
That's the name of the video.
I want to call
name.
it that.
All right.
So yeah, let me tell you why I picked John Krasinski.
Please, yes, please do. I mean, I think I know why, but just
We all know why. What's funny is that
Honestly, though, it's my first thought was, oh my God, they're perfect together. But then I thought about the characters and the actors separately. I was like, it still works.
yes, that's
Like-
why they have such great chemistry in Quiet Place.
But just like,
What's funny though, now I'm picturing Cyclops with the Quiet Place beard of John Krasinski.
I'm fine with it. Because,
They only communicate in sign language to each other.
yeah, we've seen so much from Cyclops. We've seen like the stoic leader who, to be honest, is kind of boring.
yeah.
Definitely.
And I think John Krasinski can take that role and make it not boring because here he is in a movie where he can't even talk. And he's still not boring. And it's just,
Oh, you know what? Can run better than Cynthia Erivo or Tom Cruise.
I want to run off between Cynthia Erivo
need to have
and
a
John
race.
Krasinski.
Go.
Winner is Quicksilver. But and he can be the leader, obviously, but he's also just so likable. He made his career off of being
Likeable.
one of the most likable characters in American TV history.
Even though he's a dick.
That's the thing. It's like and Cyclops has to be a dick sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
That comes with being a leader.
yeah, it comes
Well,
to be a leader.
but
And it comes
also-
with being in the team where Wolverine is
he's
going to be
a
a dick
dick.
to everyone.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to be a dick
He
in
is the
return.
Dwight in this situation.
And that's, I think, part of the problem with Cyclops from the original movies is we have Hugh Jackman, who is our hero.
We're
or Wolverine,
too much on Wolverine's side.
and we love him. And he goes in and he's being a dick to everyone immediately.
Yeah.
And everyone's just fine with it. And then Cyclops is like, well, you're not going to be a dick to me.
Yeah.
We're going to...
The problem is Cyclops would lose all of those confrontations with Wolverine.
Well, the problem is when Cyclops does it back, we don't like Cyclops anymore.
Yeah.
And there's no situation in an X-Men movie that's going to make me not like John Krasinski. So, like, when my Wolverine comes in and is being
To be
addicted,
fair, I did like the first confrontation in the original X-Men between Wolverine and Cyclops, where Wolverine goes, "You're gonna tell me to stay away from your girl." Like, well, if I had to do that, she wouldn't be my girl. And
That's great.
They have talks back and forth, and Cyclops leaves and goes, "Oh, by the way, stay away from my girl."
Yeah.
Oh, that was really cool.
I also love the how do I know it's with you?
You're a dick.
You're a dick.
Oh, that was as a kid. I was like, "That's the coolest thing I've ever heard." No superheroes. He said, "Dick,"
But I just love that he's like,
and he didn't mean Richard.
I just love that he's like, you're a dick. And Cyclops goes, okay,
That works.
yeah.
that's it.
And
Potential there.
yeah, so he's a great actor. He's a great action guy now that we know he can run like
Yeah.
Tom Cruise. And he's super likable.
Well, he's also Jack Ryan.
True. Haven't seen that.
The
but
action.
he
Neither
is
have I.
Jack Ryan.
But Jack Ryan is like the action character.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
And I think 13 Hours is the one that made everybody
Yes.
realize
Yes.
he's not just
Yeah.
Jim. So, like, he's an action star. He's also super likable. He has the comedy chops to keep up in the MCU.
And you know what? Something that none of us have brought up, and I didn't actually think about when casting, but there is that dorm room dynamic that they all should have,
Yeah.
which we haven't really seen in the movies. But I would like to see going forward, even if they're all grown ass people.
Yeah.
You should still have that dynamic a little bit, and obviously we know
John Krasinski
can
has
pull
that.
off. Yeah.
Like, he can pull off whatever
Like I
kind
can
of
see
Cyclops.
Cyclops. We don't have any mission. We're good. I'm just chilling on the couch watching TV. I got my 45-year-old girlfriend on my arm, and we're all just hanging out having a good time.
That's until he hooks up with Emma Frost, depending on what storyline you want to go for.
Speaking of that,
We're not there yet.
No, not Emma Frost.
in,
It's
like,
just
3
one of my
months.
favorite Cyclops and Wolverine moments is in the comics. After Jean dies, Cyclops hooks up with Emma Frost. Spoiler alert, sorry. And Wolverine shows up in their room, because he's that guy.
Sure.
And he says, "What stage of grief is this?" to Cyclops. And Cyclops responds by shooting him out the window with his
Nice.
eyes.
See, that's
And
the
it's
kind of thing I'd
amazing.
want to see in the movie because Wolverine can take it.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
the equivalent of punching him in the face.
Yeah, like
Damn,
he would
punch him in
get
the
shot
face,
out
so
of the
you-
window and like, I
Yeah.
deserve that, whatever. And would shake it off. And it was amazing.
I would also be terrified of being in a relationship with Cyclops, though.
He has the visor.
You
he's
turn
fine.
your head too fast, the glasses come off, I'm dead. Like, it ain't worth it. Even
But-
if you look like Armie Hammer, it ain't worth it.
But also,
I might take the risk.
pretty much every time now, half of Cyclops' character is his relationship with Jean.
Yeah.
Sure.
And, if Jean is Emily Blunt, it's gonna work.
But the thing is, though, it's the MCU. They might be like, we're going to start with Jean and
They better
Cyclops,
not.
but we might move forward.
But also,
do something different.
if they kill her off, if John Krasinski watched Emily Blunt die,
Oh my God.
Oh,
that's gonna be the
dude.
best. Like,
That would be.
He's gonna have all the sympathy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the best crying.
He's
Oh
going
my
to turn
God.
around and just deck Kevin Feige in the face.
I want it. I want to see it.
Okay.
Also, wait, I have a second one.
Oh, do
Oh
you?
my God.
I didn't
Oh my God, Dallas.
I thought it was going to be
We've
the
been
one
on
where
Cyclops for an hour
Cyclops is getting a lot more attention than we anticipated. Apparently.
because we're making up for the movies. He's got more attention in this podcast than he has in 25 movies.
My second is Ben Affleck. Because Ben Affleck is a really good actor.
He is, but he needs to stop being superheroes.
He was a good Batman.
He was a good Batman.
He was a good Batman, but like, he has bad luck for superheroes.
It's not
He's
his.
gonna bring them-
It's not his
He has
fault.
a bad luck charm.
To quote his other movie, it's not his fault. It's not his fault.
I'm so scared to
not
go
his
in
fault.
Daredevil. I was about to throw this squishy Captain Marvel star at your face.
Also, Ben Affleck he's from Boston. Yeah.
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 Yeah. And
Scott.
I don't think Scott
This is a cheese
But
ball.
Emma Frost is from Boston, so if they hook up, that'd be a nice little compatibility there.
Boston.
Everyone's from New York.
I've been thinking about this whole time now. I'm trying to think
Oh,
of
boy.
which combination I would most enjoy seeing. And the fact of the matter is, I would not mind any of these combinations at all. But I think I would most like to
That's
see.
why I wanted to avoid this conversation because she has 17 choices for both.
No.
characters.
I would most like to see Trey Byers and Lily James.
Cool,
together.
moving on. Good. Glad we got that up in the air.
I mean, mine won that. So
Yours can go.
here's the thing: if you guys didn't say that before, you would be so happy for my choice. Like, oh my god, that's so perfect. They're married. Oh my god! But then you wanted to make it a competition
Listen,
that you didn't know you would lose.
Jesse was the one who did this.
Exactly. So now
I
you're
was
like.
making a competition. I was like, we should just talk about how they're compatible with
But then
each
you
other.
got mad, which proves you made it a competition because you got mad that mine was perfect.
Stupid.
It's literally the
you're
best
so
version of that.
Bitch.
What are we doing now? Mystique?
Yes,
Yeah,
Mystique is next.
Something, I think I accidentally deleted my list just now.
Oh my god.
Shake it out and hit undo.
Shake it out.
Do you remember?
There it is.
Mystique.
Mystique, Raven Darkholme, aka
Yep.
Mystique.
Yep.
Why you would have a code name when your name is already Raven Darkholme? I don't know. Jean Grey, I get it. But like, what's your name? Raven Darkholme. What more do you need? But she does go by Mystique.
To be fair, she changes her appearance on a daily basis. She should probably have a name that she can go to that's not her own.
That's fair. She is mysterious. I don't know. She has Mystique.
Yeah, there it is.
Ah, there you go.
I actually have an actress. I don't know if you guys will know, but her name is Lea Seydoux.
Yes, I
Seydoux?
do know Lea Seydoux.
course, Demi knows
She
her.
was in Ghost Protocol.
She was in Ghost Protocol, yeah. She was also in Spectre, the recent bad James Bond movie.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
not recent, but I didn't like it.
It's the most
It
recent.
is bad. Yeah.
Unless this podcast comes out way later than we think. It is the
Don't take
most
the podcast,
recent
don't take the
James
podcast,
Bond
don't
movie.
take the podcast.
So Lea Seydoux,
Lea Seydoux, yeah, great actress.
French actress.
Really good. French actress. See, that was the thing, is I like the idea. This is me, not pulling out of the comics, just kind of me creating a new version of Mystique. Because I like her to have that Mystique. Yeah, I know. That's fine. And that's why I vastly enjoyed Rebecca Romaine's version over Jennifer Lawrence's version. Now, on paper, you would think Jennifer Lawrence's would be a better character because there's just more there.
And she's a
Way
great
more
actress.
layers. She's a great actress. And Rebecca Romaine's wasn't really, didn't have a lot of layers.
And she's a
but
model.
that's what made her awesome. It was the mysteriousness about her. You didn't know too much about her.
I get it now.
Lea
Yeah, she
Seydoux
does have
can
the
play-
mystique.
Yeah.
She's
Her
an-
name is Mystique. Lea
she is
Seydoux
an
has
enigma.
this like unknowable quality about her where like you're either going to kiss me or kill me at any moment.
Her entire character in Ghost Protocol is based off of that.
And same thing in Spectre. So like, yeah, that's Mystique. To me, that's Mystique. Here's the thing though. I feel like you, Demi, like to cast 3 different people to play all these actors. Mystique is the only one that works for because you got to cast 50,000 different people to play Mystique.
Yeah.
But
Lea Seydoux would be my main default blue-skinned
I like
Mystique.
one more than the
Also,
other.
if you got to pick a chick who's going to walk around naked the whole movie, you can do worse than Lea Seydoux. And we already know she's fine with doing that 'cause she was in blue. Blue is the warmest color.
I still need to watch that movie.
Yeah.
I've seen part of it.
Yeah, I've
It
heard
was
of that
shown to
movie.
me in cinematography.
It's controversial.
Yeah. Only because it has a 7-minute unsimulated sex scene in the middle.
Yeah.
Moving on from there, I don't even know how you move on from that.
Sex.
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 Speaking
Speaking of sex, who do you got, Demi?
At least he knows all my choices are sexy. My first choice is actually
Do you know any ugly actors?
She knows all the actors, Jesse.
He only knows like the CW looking ones though.
I'm sure I could find somebody. My first choice is Asa Gonzalez, who was a last minute choice, but she does sexy so
What
well
is
that why not?
What did I say?
I'm with it.
She's my last choice, but she's also not my first choice.
Yeah, that's how that works. Yeah. That makes way
she's
more
your
sense
last
than I
choice, but
think
she's-
you think
She
it
was
does.
she was the last person who I put on the list.
Yes.
But she is not the one I would
You ain't
most want
first,
to see in this
you're
role.
last.
However, I
Wayne first,
know
you're
that
last.
she could pull this off.
Fair. I think so.
I've
Probably.
seen her. I feel like From Dusk Till Dawn mixed with Baby Driver is probably the best example of what she could do in this role, and I think that she would be really awesome in it. I think she could pull off the enigma that you're looking
Yeah,
for.
I think I was looking for that word.
Yeah. My second choice is, of course, Katie McGraw, who is just a great villain, but also on DC TV.
Who is this woman?
One of Demi's go-tos.
She is actually kind of, depending
So
on
I'm just
what
not
it
going to
is.
know who she is.
She's gonna
I'll
show
show
up
you.
in every one of these podcasts going forward.
She's not actually. This is the
So
only
will
one.
Isa and so will Lily James.
Lily might.
Lily will.
Katie McGraw is just a fantastic villain, as shown from Merlin, and she's
Oh, we should specify. Yeah, our Mystique's, for me at least, that's a villain. My
yeah,
Mystique's a villain.
Mine is a villain, maybe an anti-hero sometimes, but mostly a villain.
Mine's a villain.
So yeah, if you've seen her in Merlin, you know she can do it. She plays her character of Lena Luthor on Supergirl. She has moments where you can't quite tell whether or not she's thinking of something evil or if she's,
Fair.
and she does it so well. And I like that Katie McGraw can do that. I don't know what you're thinking right now, and it could be anything, and I'm scared to know what it might be.
You know what's funny is, well, say your third one and then I'll. Do you have a third one?
I do have a third one. My third one is my favorite one because it's Natalie Dormer.
Oh, I should have said what I was going to say before you said that.
What were you gonna say?
Well, because with Mystique, I think more than anyone on here, physical appearance matters, and not just you have to be hot, but like the actual bone structure of like your face.
Katie has such like.
And I was going to say with Katie and Isa and who the hell did I pick? Lea Seydoux.
they, have
Who the
such,
hell did I pick?
they all have such strong bone
They have like
structures.
great, like jaw lines that are just going to look cool in the Mystique makeup, you know. But then you got Natalie Dormer, who is absolutely drop dead gorgeous, but has completely different facial structures than any person alive.
I chose Natalie Dormer because, listen, Marjorie Tyrell, Anne Boleyn, her performances, she can.
Who was the second one?
Anne Boleyn, one of Henry VIII's wives.
Oh, yeah.
The Tudors.
Yeah.
She can do manipulative, secretive, all of that stuff, and she can do it very well. So this is where the MCU rule kind of went haywire, because she is technically in Captain America: The First Avenger.
She is.
And I thought it would be really cool if you brought her in as Mystique, and because Mystique is,
Ageless.
she's old, man. We don't know how old she is. She is old. She's like from the early 1900s or something like that.
Yeah.
To say that Captain America kissed Mystique
All right.
That's funny.
would
I'll
be
allow it.
hysterical. And that was the only reason I was like, I'm allowing this. Because I can go back and say, of course it's Mystique. Why wouldn't it be Mystique? And just to come up with an idea as to why she would be there in the first place would just be so much fun.
That could work.
So yeah, Natalie Dormer would be my first choice. I love her, and she's such a great performer, has such great range. She can do the enigma thing the way that Rebecca Romaine can, but she can also do the full character thing the way that Jennifer Lawrence can.
You know what's funny? On that note, you're picking 5 people per character. I've only picked one. I'm going to throw in another one that I just thought of could work. Jenna Louise Coleman.
Possibly.
Yeah. Same movie, same possible backstory. She is on Doctor Who. She was
On Doctor Who.
Matt Smith's final companion, Peter Capaldi's first companion. She showed up in Captain America: The First Avenger also. It was like a little
For 2 seconds?
2 seconds, yeah.
It was just one of those roles.
She was either Bucky's girlfriend or she was a girl Bucky got for Steve. One of them.
I think she's Steve's.
Good for Steve. How do you turn? God damn it, Steve. All right.
No, he didn't turn her down. She wasn't interested in him. You can see it on her face in that scene.
I mean, granted, nobody would be, but like he does turn her down. He's like, no, I'm gonna go.
yeah,
sign up for the army
but that's after
instead,
she's...
which ended up being a good life decision for him. But still, Jesus Christ. Seeing Jenna Louise Coleman?
Dallas.
Katie McGraw has a silent TH in the end of her name.
Yes.
That is
She's
It's
Irish.
weird,
so
right?
frustrating.
Right?
Because I was trying to find out who she was.
I've been friends with Demi for so long.
And I
That's
keep seeing
frustrating
Katie
me.
McGrath, and I'm like, no, McGraw. McGraw. And like some like weather woman or somebody popped up, and I'm like, who is this person? So I type in actress. Yeah, I found her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Also,
I typed in Lena
picture
Luthor.
choices for them, just like yes.
Actually, let me see the
Mystique.
picture. Okay, yeah,
Yes,
Natalie Dormer
for
is the
the
one with the
majority
shark
of
face.
the time I have known Demi. That little factoid has bugged me so much.
Katie
for
McGraw.
so long.
It's because she's Irish. It's an Irish thing.
Yeah, I can see that. It's just because I was like, okay, fine, Lena Luthor, actress, and
That
it's
is
We were
the
talking about her in the car over here because Demi was in that car. So, and I did say, I made the joke of like Katie McGrath.
it's
that's
the-
what you were doing.
Yes.
I get it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
I'm glad
who?
we could include you.
It's also okay. That's the one thing though. If Katie McGraw got hired, don't make her try and be American. That's the one thing about Katie that I will admit. She can't do an American
Well,
actress to
Lea
save her
Seydoux, very
life.
heavy French accent. That, as far as I know, she can't ditch because she's had it in every movie.
Katie has like her Irish accent isn't even like super heavy. She just can't do an American accent.
Yeah.
Just don't make her do
But
it.
I think, again, for Mystique, it's fine.
It'd be
Yeah.
kind of interesting if Mystique in her regular form always has an Irish accent. That'd be a nuance that we haven't
but
seen
no,
before.
but I feel like she would. Well, here's the thing. I don't want to see Mystique as. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see Lea Seydoux as Lea Seydoux. She's got to be blue.
That's what I'm saying.
There's
Like,
no reason to see her.
if Katie McGraw is Mystique, when she's blue, she's gonna sound Irish,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
which is
That's the
interesting.
thing. I think blue Mystique can have.
She could be
some-
whatever. You don't
a
know where she's
foreign
from.
Accent. Yeah, you don't know
Yeah.
where she's from, and then she turns into like a fat security guard, and he can sound like.
To be fair, Natalie
Michael
Dormer.
Rappaport.
Natalie Dormer is also English, and they're also best friends. Her and Katie.
But Natalie Dormer, I feel like I've seen do an American accent.
Oh, she's definitely done
Rush.
Probably.
I think
She-
she was
she's
American in Rush.
done it probably several times.
Yeah,
Dallas.
like British is just easier to ditch.
Mystique. My first Mystique is Charlize Theron,
That's also a really good choice.
the one African actress I didn't consider for Storm.
Why Dallas?
You know, had my reasons. I just really like Regina King.
I just really like Regina King.
So yeah, I was like, nah, Mystique
Okay, hold
needs.
What color are Isa Gonzalez's eyes?
Brown.
Let's just say
The
brown.
only option that doesn't have blue eyes, out of all of ours.
For
For
Mystique.
Mystique.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That doesn't have what?
Didn't know
blue
that.
eyes. We all
Actually,
pick
Katie's-
blue eyes actress.
Katie's green.
Yeah, still counts.
Interesting that you know that off the top of your head.
Only because I thought her eyes were blue and found out they weren't.
Got it.
Yeah, I figured Isa Gonzalez would be the exception. Isa Gonzalez might be the exception to that rule.
Probably.
I was like, yeah, we all pick blue-eyed actresses.
Except that one.
Interesting.
Well, I have two for
Considering
Mystique. I
their
should
eyes
say.
will be digitally colored yellow anyway. So
I don't think my second Mystique has blue eyes, but we'll get to that when
But
we get to
Charlize
that.
Theron.
So yeah, my Mystique
Theron.
has to be a villain
Theron.
because I'm sick of like the, I don't know what to call this Mystique that we have now,
Yeah.
who's like, I'm a hero, but like I'm
it's Jennifer
reluctant.
Lawrence. That's what she is.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna be here for you. But I don't want to be here
Reluctant
for you.
hero is what Jennifer Lawrence does best.
At this point, she is a reluctant Mystique. But
Oh,
Jennifer Lawrence has range for days, so like we could make her a villain, and I feel like she would still pull it off.
I always thought she would have been a great villain, and they
Yeah.
just didn't go that route.
thought they would. They didn't. Charlize can be a great villain.
Oh, she can.
We know. Honestly, it's funny because this point applies, I think, more to you guys because you guys liked her more in Fate of the Furious than I did.
I
Yes.
just watched that movie
Because
recently.
I think, she's a great actress. I didn't care that much for her villain in that movie, but I know she can play a villain well.
She was just so weirdly dark in that movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
For you to be like, we're watching The Rock surf on a torpedo, but then also we're gonna have her point a gun at a baby. Like, guys, pick a lane.
but also that's the thing is like, she is limitless, not the movie, in her,
That was Amber Heard.
shut up, in her like, what she's willing to do and what she's capable of.
Yeah.
Mystique might point a gun at a baby because
Yeah,
she's
that's the
about
thing.
that action.
But not if that movie also has, Army Hammer
But also-
surfing on a torpedo.
And I'm going to say for your choice,
Uh-huh.
more so than ours, Charlize Theron can pull off the maternal act because Mystique technically is a mother. She
She has a couple kids.
Yeah, she gives birth to Nightcrawler, and
Famously Nightcrawler,
she takes in
She
Rogue.
adopts Rogue. She's her mother. She's her adopted mother.
Which
Yeah.
is something I did not think about. I completely forgot about when casting Lea Seydoux. So when we get to Rogues and Nightcrawlers,
To be fair, Mystique,
she could be any age.
it can be
Yes.
any age. So I'm like, whatever. She's
That's
going to
true. It
transform
doesn't
to
matter.
be
But like
this.
Lea Seydoux is still playing teenagers and stuff, so
Is
she
she?
looks young.
Well, it could
She was
work.
just Belle in a French adaptation of Beauty and the Beast.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But
Glad all of
what was
them.
it?
Beast looks
Also-
awesome in that movie, by the way. You guys got to look up just a picture of the Beast from
The
that
Beast from
movie.
The
from
French
Lea
Beauty and the
Seydoux' Beauty and the Beast.
Show us
Looks
after
great.
because I'm gonna forget. Charlize can be the action star, as
She
we saw from
can.
Atomic Blonde. Like
And
because
Furious.
And Aeon Flux.
I forgot that movie happened.
God, why? We're saying good things. Good things to me.
Because we're doing it. This is what we're doing today.
But yeah, part of my thing was Mystique needs to be a physical actress. Like
Okay.
Mystique
Definitely, yeah.
does cartwheels and kicks people in the face.
Boom.
And I think Atomic Blonde is the first time I saw Charlize Theron. I was like, okay, now you can do it all. Because I know she can do everything with her acting
Mm-hmm.
and her range. She's been
She's got an Oscar.
Yeah, she was a mom a few times. She can be a mom. She can be a badass. I know she
is a
can
mom.
actually fight. And I don't know what her South African accent sounds like because her American accent is just so ingrained in my head.
Yeah.
think I've heard it, and even now I'm trying to call back an interview that I've heard her do, and I still can't
I
even
assume it
think
sounds like
of
a
what
South
she said.
African accent.
So like Charlton Copley.
Yeah, like Charlton Copley is actually what else.
I want to hear that.
Probably not that strong.
I doubt it'll be. Well, also,
hope it's that
she doesn't
strong.
have the cadence of Charlton Copley.
I hope if she talks when she speaks at home, it's just Charlton Copley's voice.
Her poor kids.
I told you to go to bed already, man.
Oh my god!
Get in the shower, man.
Anyway, my second choice.
Who's your second choice, man?
Fun fact:
Okay.
Mystique has a lesbian lover.
Hey, she does.
And we saw in Atomic Blonde, she
that
can pull that off too.
that she adopts with Rogue.
Yeah, that.
She adopts her love.
No, she adopts Rogue
Wait a
with.
minute.
Yes,
She
I
adopts
Missed
Rogue
that
with.
comic. Is that the ultimate universe?
I wouldn't be surprised. Ultimate Universe is weird.
It's strange on a lot
But,
of levels.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Atomic Blonde because my second Mystique is Sophia Botella,
Hey.
All right.
aka
I can
Charlize
see
Theron's
it.
lesbian lover.
And she would be able to do something.
I feel like you're typecasting there, Dallas.
But yeah, Sophia Botella is the physical actress
She is.
because I think she first came on the scene in Kingsman, as far as we know.
Yes,
As
but
far
she
as
was
acting goes?
She was, yeah, as far as acting goes.
Yeah, because I know she was a dancer and probably a ninja. But like we saw her in Kingsman just
that was her breakout role. Yeah,
exactly kicking all kinds of ass, and I'm like, yo, this is Mystique. And we know from The Mummy she can be weirdly sexual if we need to go that route.
Yeah.
Because Mystique does have a lot of, I think in every version of Mystique we've seen her try to seduce somebody
Yes.
and not try like seduce somebody. And you know,
I mean, she didn't. I don't know.
Stupid line in,
I don't know if Fassbender was seduced.
no. I just talk about
Fassbender
like
did the seducing.
I mean like random like
Well, no,
government
that's right.
agents
Oh.
and
She showed up in
guards
his
and
bed
stuff.
naked. So that's her.
She tried and she failed
Yeah, that's fair.
I prefer the
no,
Real
but they
Raven.
made out at the end, and presumably
because of him, not because of her.
I prefer Rebecca Romaine or whatever the line is.
Remagen.
Yeah, Sophia Botella can do all of that.
Yeah.
And I've seen her play almost exclusively villains, come to think of it.
Hotel Artemis,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But boom, she's a badass again.
and she's not like a bad guy. She's not really a good guy. She's just kind of.
Yeah, she's not a bad guy. She can be like ambivalent. But also, Charlize is the actress that I was really considering for 2 roles. So if I can't use her for this one, I'll just use Sophia instead.
All right.
Alrighty then.
So our last one of the night.
Are we there already? We're done.
We are the last one of the night.
Wow.
Wow.
But it's only 11 p.m., guys. Our night is still young.
Stop it.
All right. So the last one is, of course, Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Star of the show. Bum, bum, bum.
Okay, not the star of my show, to be clear here.
Good.
Literally the star of all the shows, though.
Honestly,
to the point
Except
where they
First Class.
replaced X-Men with Wolverine and the X-Men.
yeah. That's one thing I'm hoping they fix. I don't want just a bunch of Wolverine movies featuring the X-Men.
Fair.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he is still... He's the favorite. He's not going anywhere.
That
He's
was-
going to be a big role.
That was really when I started growing tired of X-Men movies. I was just like, they're all just Wolverine movies.
That was the first one.
No, no.
Immediately got
No,
tired.
no. When it became a pattern, I was just like, oh, we're
So,
done.
then the second one.
Jesse,
Yes.
who's your Wolverine?
So here's the thing.
Oh, God.
Hugh Jackman was great.
Yes, he was.
Hugh Jackman was awesome. Hugh Jackman can be replaced because Hugh Jackman was not Wolverine, which was the problem people had when he was first cast. He's too tall. He's too Australian. He's not hairy enough.
Australian.
All of these things are correct. So if you want to cast another Wolverine, there's a perfectly valid way of doing it. You cast a short, hairy Australian. So I went looking for short, hairy Australians.
Wait, you mean not Australian?
I'm sorry, Canadians.
Canadian.
Canadians, what I meant to say.
I was going to
before.
say, was that hard to find? Or
Short, hairy Canadians.
How short did you go for? Did you just Google
I just
short?
googled
Or
short,
did you,
hairy Canadians.
you didn't Google 5'3"?
No, not specifically.
Because this is something I always love to bring up. The closest well-known actor to Wolverine's height is Danny DeVito.
So, well, here's the thing. So my litmus was Bob Hoskins, who was the original was the original pick for Wolverine back in 1990, whatever, when they started making the first one.
Okay.
And it's like, yeah, look at a comic book picture of Wolverine. Look at Bob Hoskins. He's Wolverine.
Super Mario.
So, with not Hugh Jackman in mind, with Bob Hoskins in mind, I went looking for a short, hairy Canadian. I got 2 out of the 3. I got a short, hairy Brit named Mark Shepard, best known as Crowley in Supernatural.
Oh, my gosh.
Hear
Oh
me
my
out.
God.
Hold on.
I really wish you would have said "hear me out" before you said his name.
He was also Badger in Firefly, which proves. Well, no, he was still Cockney in that one, right?
Yeah, he was talking about
Freaking.
it.
He has
Crowley.
done a Southern accent. I've heard him do it before.
Okay.
He's really good at it. He can do American. Oh, it was Doctor Who. He was also just not Southern, but he was American.
Yeah.
He did show up in Doctor Who. So we know he can pull off the accent. We know he can be an angry little man.
Well, time out because another weird thing about Wolverine in the movies is he doesn't have a Canadian accent; he has an American accent.
Which is fine. I mean, he always has that in the cartoons anyway. Like every version of
He's just
Wolverine I've
gruff.
heard.
Yeah, it's also
like
just weird
rough
because like
American.
there are movies where we say I'm Canadian and it's like, are you? But
Yeah, just
so you're saying Mark Shepard can do a Southern accent?
just straight up American.
Got it.
But he's gruff. He's angry. He can be because we keep bringing up the MCU might make him funnier than he's been so far.
Oh, he can definitely be funny.
He can be hilarious,
Oh
I've
my
seen that.
god.
and he can be terrifying. He's played a demon. Demon's scary.
He's the least terrifying demon I've ever seen.
Later in the later seasons, when he first showed up, he was he spent some time as the main villain of Supernatural.
Yeah, but he was still like,
He was also scary as Badger.
I haven't seen that.
Questionable.
Right, but that's my thing. Wolverine can be questionably scary. He's scary because he can whip out his metal claws at any moment and go to town on you. But he's not necessarily going to intimidate you with presence alone, like a Wolverine. He's a little angry badger dude, little hairy angry badger, and he literally played Badger, the little hairy angry dude
On
in
Firefly.
Firefly. So
Oh my god, this is amazing.
that is my Wolverine.
I
didn't want to go for big, tall, bulked, cut, leading men dudes like Hugh Jackman
Yeah.
is, because that's not necessarily who Wolverine is.
I almost wish we had just saved Jesse for last on that one. 'Cause
Honestly,
our reactions to that
what
were
a way to end it.
Also,
Well-
for you audio listeners, I'm wearing metal Wolverine claws right now.
Yes, you are.
And I'm so happy to have finally a practical application for these things.
all right. So
Just going to keep doing this while you're talking.
please don't.
You shouldn't.
Okay.
I think he's done.
So my first choice is an actor named Grayston Holt, who is most well known for
Sounds
a TV
British.
show called Bitten,
Bitten.
which I believe is a Canadian TV show. So
Nice.
I used to watch Bitten like the first season, and then I lost track of it because it stopped playing on Sci-Fi. But from what I remember of it, I really liked him on that show. He also just looks like a Wolverine, so he looks like
That was Mark Shepard.
he looks like a Wolverine type of guy. So
Mark Shepard looks like a British bulldog.
Yeah, that's what I said.
when I say he looks like a Wolverine, I mean he kind of looks more like a Hugh Jackman Wolverine than a...
It's not Wolverine. Damn it.
Anyway,
But okay,
it is
hold on,
now.
hold on, to defend myself. Because here's the thing. This is kind of the Will Smith genie thing.
Yeah.
You don't want to go too close to what was already established because then you get
Fair.
comparisons.
Fair.
So I'm trying to go as far away as possible and still be faithful.
And
to
I'm
the comics.
glad you found somebody.
Yes.
But yeah, Grayson Holt, for anybody... Like I said, if you've never heard of him, just go look him up on Bitten, which I believe is now on Netflix. My next choice was Richard Armitage.
I know that name.
He can play short.
He can play short if you've seen The Hobbit.
He's Thor and Oakenshield in The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Is he in the Lord of the Rings as well?
No,
No.
just The Hobbit. He is most well known for The Hobbit, but he is also currently a voice actor on Castlevania. He plays Trevor Belmont.
Also the first person ever in the MCU to say Hail Hydra. Also in Captain America, the First Avenger.
Is he?
Yeah, so many people in that movie. It's weird. He's that guy who kills Dr. Erskine. When Steve comes out with his powers for the first time, chases him down.
That is the strangest. I feel like I now have to take him off my list.
And that's
because
really
he's
funny
in the
though,
movie.
is you're only picking MCU actors for characters who don't age.
It's true.
And
So-
also only from Captain America, the First Avenger.
Only obscure Captain America actors for characters don't age, so it still works, but then you have to explain
But he
why
had to explain
Wolverine
why
is
he
a
was
Nazi.
Well, but that's memory loss, right? He did a lot of shady stuff
That's true.
before
That's-
he...
I feel
There.
like Nazi wouldn't be on this list.
You would hope it's not on his list.
And then again, I would say it wouldn't
fought
be
in
on.
every war. You think he just happened to pick the right side every time?
Yes.
Yes.
But also, we could say Nazi wouldn't be on Cap's list before Marvel made him a Nazi in the comics. So
Yeah.
there's a whole thing
We
with
don't
that.
talk about that.
Yeah, that is a good point.
that-
Might have to
that-
disqualify him.
Yeah, I might have to disqualify him. That's an interesting one. I didn't realize that
Yeah,
he had
that's a-
actually been in a Captain Marvel or
Well,
Captain.
because he doesn't sound like Richard Armitage in there. He goes, I am the first of many.
Yeah, because
Hail Hydra.
and that was the thing. Richard Armitage's voice in Castlevania, I was like,
Richard Armitage's voice in life.
general. I would like to just hear you speak. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on from Richard Armitage, my last choice is Travis Fimmel, most well known for his role on Vikings as Ragnar Lothbrok. That is a hairy
We
man.
already had Ragnarok in the MCU.
That is a very hairy man. He's also a phenomenal actor. He was great on Vikings, and it was very upsetting to see him go. But, characters run their course.
You gotta go.
You gotta go. But yeah, he's amazing, and I feel like he could pull off the gruff Wolverine type of attitude. What's funny is, so Ragnar has he has a snarkiness about him, but it would fit in the MCU.
Okay. Well, that's the thing. Wolverine.
Where it's snarky, but it's not like a normal type of snarky.
That's the thing. Wolverine is already a funny character.
Yeah.
But it's a particular type of humor.
Yeah, and I think Travis
that Crowley has.
Oh my God.
You don't have to convince us any further.
Yes, you do. We don't have that much time.
I think Travis Fimmel would do a great job, though, with that. I think he could pull off the comedy, and he's such a great actor. He's got the range. He could pull it off. So Travis
Shepard can be
Fimmel.
dramatic.
And he's got the facial
He did
hair.
a single tear thing.
So, I mean, he also got like a crazy look in his eye sometimes, and I'm just like...
That is a crazy look in his eyes.
So I feel like he could do it.
Also, the guy on the left looks like Green Arrow.
Grayston does kind of look like Green Arrow. You make a good point. Which is funny, though, because a lot of people say Travis Fimmel looks a lot like Charlie Hunnam, who looks most like Green Arrow.
Interesante.
So, Dallas, who is your choice for the Wolverine?
All right. So I'm going to do the, YouTube list thing where they start at the bottom and then get to their top choice.
Okay.
Because it's Wolverine. Let's go out with a bang.
Travis Fimmel would have been my ultimate
Check
choice.
out our
for
Double
that
Tap
one, so.
podcast of top 10. Don't do that.
My number 3. I think Wolverine's the only person I have 3 choices for.
Hey,
because he's
welcome to the
Wolverine.
club.
I had like 4 or 5, and I was like,
I just had the ones I found the perfect Wolverines. I didn't need to go any further than that. Once I found him, I was like, you're perfect. You are the most Bob Hoskins guy we have currently working today.
Oh my gosh. Dallas.
Okay, hear me out.
Okay. Unlike Jesse warned us with.
So remember when I said I want to find actors from the places that the characters are from?
I tried.
I only do that
Canadian?
I only do that when the character is like noticeably from a place. Like it keeps coming up in their backstory. Because the thing, Hugh Jackman is not,
No,
that
but
Wolverine
Wolverine
is
is
not.
very Canadian. Like, that's his thing.
Exactly. My third choice is Canadian.
Gotcha.
And I wanted somebody who...
Ryan Reynolds is already in the X-Men movies, though.
Okay, never mind. No. So I wanted somebody who can pull off, because Wolverine, one of his most defining traits is you gotta
Goslingness.
lose everything, but just keep pushing forward, be a badass. And
Oh, boy.
I don't like the way you're looking at me.
I don't like the way you're building this up.
I don't know where this is
Build it
going.
up first before I say it.
It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Exactly, and I was
Sylvester
like, okay.
Stallone is already in the MCU, Dallas.
Who did you choose?
So it was like, somebody who's Canadian, and I've seen in a movie just Wolverine is walking revenge.
I'm the best I am at what I do. What I do best.
Wolverine is walking revenge, and I want someone who can be stoic, but also is at least capable of losing it
Being a beast.
when he needs to. John Wick.
Keanu Reeves?
Wow.
Yes.
Interesting choice.
This is why he's number 3. Because
Wolverine has charisma, though.
that's the thing is like,
Versus your John
Wolverine.
Krasinski. This isn't going to work.
No, but John Krasinski words is why I'm pissed at him.
but honestly,
Hold on, no, you know what? You don't get to judge my Mark Shepard as hard as you've been judging.
yes, I do.
No.
Because yours is the sassy gay friend of Supernatural.
You picked a scrawny, lanky...
I don't think Keanu Reeves was scrawny.
Keanu Reeves looks like the dude from the animated Paperman short that won all the Oscars a few years ago.
Such a weird reference.
You're a weird reference.
So Keanu Reeves?
But
Keanu
honestly,
Reeves looks like Slender Man with a beard.
hey, he's a good looking guy. Leave him alone. Probably. I don't know.
Wolverine. There's a Wolverine sitting on... Look at this. There's Wolverine.
That does not look like Mark Shepard.
He's short.
He's not even hairy.
Dallas.
Sorry.
Hey, he's got little hairs. Little hairs.
Dallas.
I have a Wolverine showing everybody.
But yeah, I watched John Wick, and I'm like, I can see Wolverine doing this to people. If he had guns
Double
instead of
tapping him
claws.
with pistols.
Yeah.
I don't see Wolverine doing that.
If he had guns instead of claws. And
I
also,
don't see him in slow motion doing a backflip while bullets fly at him.
honestly, I think he could pull it off. That's basically the scene from the good part of
I know,
X-Men
Kung
Origins
Fu.
when he's going through like the wars in slow motion, just flipping off of things. Yeah. You missed it. You didn't see that part. My number 2 choice. So you have to be somebody who can lose everything and still keep coming.
You were talking about Keanu Reeves' career.
Write that down.
Oh, the inside jokes.
If only we had fans to get pissed at us.
Shut up.
They don't understand that one.
But she talked about how Wolverine is funny, but it's like that kind of like
Angry funny.
he has like an angry
Yeah.
and
Like,
for me it doesn't even need to be always an angry funny, but it's just like
let's go fuck yourself from First Class.
Jensen Ackles.
Okay, better.
I think I
Definitely
have him
better.
on a list somewhere, but
And
not
to be honest,
Is that why you're so bad about Crowley? Because you already had a supernatural
honestly, I
actor?
like the Crowley thing more now that like because I have Jensen Ackles. I was like, oh, that's funny. We both have supernatural actors. But yeah, I've seen Jensen Ackles just lose everything. And by everything,
Well, he's
I mean
another
Sam.
one. He's not as like renowned as a Vera Farmiga or a Bryan Cranston, but he's another guy who's done everything in Supernatural.
He's good at it.
He's really good at it.
But like this is the
point
only
where
place he gets to do
I
it.
feel so bad for Jared Padalecki because he has to act next to Jensen Ackles all the time, and it's just embarrassing for him.
Yeah, and like you said, like we've seen him like when he was a demon,
Yeah.
and he was a scary demon. Jesse, Jensen Ackles, Demon Dean was scary.
Jensen Ackles is like a generic leading man, though. That's the thing. Got to get away from that for Wolverine.
No, you don't.
I have him for
don't.
something else that'll come up in a later podcast.
That's why he could be a Cyclops. I see Jensen Ackles as a Cyclops.
I can't.
I can't.
I can see Jensen.
I think he's too
Ackles
gruff.
more as a
But see,
Wolverine.
he also doesn't. For the past like 10 years of Supernatural, he's been talking like this a lot. He does this with his voice. So like, if he talks like a normal guy,
I don't think he can anymore.
that's it. His voice is dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom!
He has the perfect. He has the gruff Wolverine voice now. But yeah, Jensen Ackles just watched, Supernatural. Number 1.
I'm prepared for to be disappointed in you at this point.
Number 1 is Tom Hardy. Because
You know what? That was my first.
That's
pick
a
for
popular-
I figured.
That's a popular
that's
fan
everyone's
to go
first pick
to.
for
I
Wolverine.
was so disappointed with myself. I had to find a better option. He's short.
The thing
he's
is, you
hairy,
didn't
he's
though.
angry.
To be honest, Hugh Jackman is the only better option than Tom Hardy. And
Well, there's also Mark Shepard.
oh God, stop it. Just, the more you say it, the more I hate it.
I'm just gonna drill it into your brain until you see it. You'll see. I'm gonna Photoshop an awesome picture of Mark Shepard as.
You should.
Wolverine
That should be
watch.
pretty cool. You should do that. But yeah, I mean, this one isn't one that I feel like I need to go into very much because once Hugh Jackman
everybody
stopped
already has.
being Wolverine, everyone started making videos about why Tom Hardy is Wolverine.
Yes.
But also, you've seen all his movies.
Yeah.
You know what he can do.
Except for Bronson.
That's fair. That's probably the least Wolverine he's been. But like, you watch Mad Max and he's just growling angrily,
It's true.
and he's somehow the title
to
character.
Be fair though, if you watch any of his movies, he's just growling angrily.
Yeah, that's Wolverine. A guy who can growl. And it's to the point where like Wolverine can be, likable,
Yeah.
but also
He's likable in an unlikable kind of way. Like he's the likable
yeah.
dick.
But also, if he was just sitting in a corner growling at people, you'd be like, yeah, that's Wolverine.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need the charisma, but he can have it because he's Tom Hardy. He's great.
Logan.
And he's not like leading man tall. He's not like
Yeah, that's the thing.
6'3".
Yes.
He's like 5'9", I
see
think.
it.
Yeah.
The only reason I didn't pick him was because everybody and their mother had already. So it was just like,
Yeah. But I was like, you know what? I see why.
Yeah.
So one of us had to do it.
yeah.
Somebody had to do it. The same.
What do I call you?
Will he use a strange voice
Hardy.
while he's playing?
He has to. Well, first of all, people play Wolverine, except for Hugh Jackman, have given him weird voices. It's got to sound like this, Clint Eastwood-ish.
That is fair.
So you want a
And
Cockney
Tom
Wolverine?
Hardy's going to do it. Oh, on what?
You want a Cockney Wolverine?
Yeah.
Well,
He should be
guys.
Canadian. But,
Anyway,
Tom Hardy can sound
that
Canadian.
will do it for part 1 of Fancast someday. We're going to
Nice.
wrap it up here, but we do have a part 2 coming
Eventually.
at some point between now and the day that the sun devours the earth. There will be a part 2.
We have it planned.
We do. So again, like I said at the beginning, if you didn't see anything, you're doing it right. If you didn't hear an X-Men character who you think should be on there, beast, then he'll
That's next
probably be
time.
there in the next. He or she will probably be there in the next round.
And if they're
But
not,
those are our picks. Let us know what you think.
who are your picks?
Who are your picks? Comment down below. Which X-Men do you want to see us do for the future? If we get one that's popular, we'll do that one. On a scale of Mark Shepard to Jensen Ackles, where do you put Wolverine? Come on, back me up. Comment section. Let us know who you would pick for different characters in the X-Men universe.
And thanks for joining us on our new Fancast
Yeah,
series.
hit us up on all the medias at the Reshoots, Twitter, Instagram, all of them.
Yep, all of that.
Find me on Twitter and Instagram at thejester11381138.
You can find me at Dreamy Films on Twitter and Instagram.
Dreamy with an I and 2 E's
Yeah,
and all one word.
It'll be in the description, probably.
Yeah, that's fair.
you'll find a way.
This is Dallas, and you can find me on Twitter at King Name Simba.
You can find Colin, our ironically straight man, at Duck McGuck on Twitter.
You mean the guy who wasn't in the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to give him some love.
I still want to find him.
He's making angry noises in the background now, so I want to give him some love.
All right, guys.
He's Wolverine.
All right, y'all. Have fun out there.
Bye.